Kevin, Jill, Jack, Catherine. Well, I have spent the last 2 days in a 24-inch by 24-inch closet.
That's not happening.
Well, at least the front part of me was in there. I don't know about the back end. Um, um, but I did have a yellow tag in the back that said wide load. Um, Pulling the water heater out, redoing the plumbing. The floor was rotted out because the water heater was leaking. So I had to take the floor out, put a new floor in, put the new water heater in, replumb everything. It took about 14 hours to do all that. And I got to tell you, the reason I'm telling you this story is it's a lot harder to do that when you're 74 than when you're 44. So, what are you going to do? All right, let's do some silk reeling, and I will try. I'll try not to get distracted and go off into a discussion about something. Let's try to do today, and today's Tuesday, Wednesday. Jack, are you going to be here tomorrow?
No.
No. Okay, we'll do it today and Thursday. We'll try to go through all the exercises, and you all just watch for the things that we've been talking about, especially right the left and right coordination, upper and lower coordination, inner and outer coordination. All right, we'll do a few things for the spine here just to warm up. All right, head turns. And center, and head rolls. And down to center, and reverse. and down to center and back up. Forward spinal wave. And reverse. And good. Okay, we're going to do shoulder reels for the shoulder girdle, and then we're going to do hip reels for the hip girdle. So shoulders. And reverse. And then the right side. And reverse. Feet side by side. Alternates. And reverse. And double. And reverse. And good. So when you were doing those shoulder rolls, you should have also been practicing some hip rolls. The same hip rolls we're going to focus on here in a moment, but they're kind of a shadow side of it, right? They're a shadow of what you're doing with the shoulders. So let me put my Tron outfit on here. Tron. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with our hip joints that we just did with our shoulder joints. So let's start with the left foot, and remember that the shoulders, the first one goes backward, right? So you put your foot up and you draw your hip in, draw your hip in. All right, so you're rolling the hip backward. Now roll it forward. All right. So you're going to lift your leg and walk forward with it. Does this remind you of any animal? Kevin, what animal?
I was just debating whether I was to make a horse reference or not.
It is. It's a lot of animals paw the ground. All right. It's like pawing the ground.
I was thinking of a bull.
Yes.
A charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now same thing on the right side. All right. Up and draw back. Up and draw back. All right, and then forward. Okay, and then feet side by side. So this is one that we've been doing, but been doing it wrong, right? Just imagine you're on a bicycle and you're pedaling like this, right? You're just pedaling, right? Now, you can raise your heels if that helps you, right? But then focus on your hip joints, not the bottom of your feet. And reverse. All right, now you're pedaling backwards. Okay, and then finally, right, both sides at the same time, right? So they're going to roll, both of them roll backward. And when I roll backward, I bring the energy up the front, about to the solar plexus. It goes through the body, goes down the back, and underneath my perineum, and then back up again, right? But my real focus is on focusing that circle on the hip joints. When you're doing this, really focus on your lumbar area and your tailbone. So you want your lumbar area, your lumbar comes forward like this. It's a curve like this. You want it to go back the other way, all right? Because that'll open up those vertebrae, right? And then sink in your tailbone, sink all the way down, and then come up. Roll, stick your lumbar out backwards, and then roll down. Right? And reverse. Reverse and go forward. Right? Same thing, only now we're coming up the back to the solar plexus, through the front, down the front, under the crotch, right? With the focus of that circle on the hip joints. Okay. So those exercises for the hips, I don't know about you guys, but I feel they're very intense. You really get down into the body in a particular way. For me, they're really good for my back. Through that whole series, I'm getting spontaneous spinal adjustments, pop, pop, pop as you go along. And that's loosening up things and letting your chi flow through here. Okay, elbows. Sink in the red, sink in the blue, sink in the red, sink in the blue. All right? Circle. This is a good exercise to study whether you have a flat tire or not. What is a flat tire? I'll show you a flat tire. It's like you go over and then it's just flat. And you go over and it's flat. It needs to be round. For it to be round, you have to sink in the hip joint, transfer the sink, and then come around. And that's a lot harder exercise. And reverse, same thing. Now sink in the blue, sink in the red, sink in the blue, sink in the red. It's easy to move your arm. It takes a lot more focus and energy to sink in the quad. And sink to the bottom of that foot. Sink. 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 Remember, I think I told you guys a couple of days ago that these exercises will really increase your strength. And they will start from the ground and work up. But the key to that is your hip joints and your waist, because that's the division between the upper body and lower body. And if you're not using your hip joints, it acts as like a dam. So, your improvement will come up to here and then it'll just sort of stop. So you really need to get into the hip joints in order to bring the chi and the good effects of the exercise all the way up into the upper body. Other side. And reverse. And alternates. And reverse. And reverse. So a lot of these exercises, just so you look cool, end with a little fa jin. That's from the Erlu forms. So this is fa jin. It's called exploding energy. However, if you do it wrong, you will give yourself a headache. Right? Don't focus on the elbows. Focus on the trunk. And when you start, where should your chi be? The front or the back? Should be in the back. And then, so it's on the dumai in the back. you're going to shoot the energy forward to the renmai. That's what brings your elbows back. Is shooting that energy from the back to the front. Pop. 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 All right? If you focus on the elbows, what happens is your outer shell gets really hard. And it will rattle your head like a bell. All right? Instead, you keep your outer surface, your shoulders and arms and everything, very soft. And the power is on the inside. All right? Does that make sense? Good. Something I was going to say the other day, and I don't know whether it was this class or another class. When you do Fa Jin, when you punch, for instance, or when you do an elbow like a spoon, right? The thing you're hitting with, let's say the elbow, right? Stay soft. It's soft, 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 hard, and then immediately soft again. Well, how can you do that? What do you mean? Just do something without thinking about hitting, all right? But pay attention to what's happening inside you. And if you can feel the flow, you feel the flow go down your arm to the tips of your fingers. If you're doing a full chi path, right? It's going to go from the mind to the danchin, to the bottom of that foot, back to the danchin, then to the shoulder, and then out to the fingers, right? Can you feel that wave go through your body? When you hit someone, what you're hitting them with is not your physical body. It's the wave. So the reason your arm, your elbow, gets hard for just a second is because you time this so that the wave hits your elbow just as your elbow hits your opponent. All right? It's soft, 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 hard, soft. All right? You can feel it. You can feel it be hard. You can actually feel it as you go through. When you think about hitting somebody, it's a little more intense. Jill, you look like you have a question. No? Okay. That's why it only lasts a second, because that wave hits and then it's gone. Right? It's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's there, it's not there. Just for that second. It's exactly like my friend the towel whip, right? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There won't be anything there until the end of it flicks into your opponent. And then immediately it's gone again. All right? Let me see if I can get it. No. Just for that second, that part of a second, it's hard. Okay. Can you feel your off arm, right? I'm going to do this. What's my off arm doing? You can do this without the other arm, But when you've got the other arm, you might as well use it. All right? You can think of this as another offensive move here, or it can just be a defensive move. So some guy grabs you, you turn your hand over, and you just move backward. Boom. All right. At the same time, boom, you smack him in the nose. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, you can go right in the center. Just smack him right up under the nose. Okay. Oh, let's do cloud hands too. Yun Shou. I really like cloud hands. Both hands are really active, or both, you could just say both sides of the body. So it's not like this one's active and you're just forgetting about this one. They're both doing complete circles all the time. Okay, next time we'll start right there and we'll just continue. All right, but let's do the wrists and ankles to finish. Stretches. And the other side. And reverse. And the other side. And relax your wrists. And good. And the ankles. The other side. And rotate. And reverse. And the other side. And reverse. And close. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. And close. And open. Doling. And touch the earth. And close your pores. Salute our masters and salute your classmates. Thank you, everyone. Guys, have a great day. We will see you mañana.